She was like my little best friend. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Anaya Womack was funny, silly, lovable, and driven. Anaya loved her family dearly, and her family loved her. Anaya had the biggest personality and the biggest smile and would brighten up any room that she walked into. Anaya enjoyed fashion, music, and creating TikToks. Her mother stated that Anaya was her best friend, and she was getting ready to start her own independence by moving into her first and very own apartment. Unfortunately, that day would never come because events would take place on May 24, 2023 that would change the lives of Anaya, Anaya family, and Anaya friends forever.
Anaya Womack was dropped off at a hospital by an unknown person. She had been shot in the midsection and died hours later. Police said she was found on the sidewalk at the intersection of Monument and Trednick, and then dropped off at Memorial Hospital around 12:30 this morning.
I see my baby lifeless, and to say my final goodbyes to her was the hardest thing.
Tears from Andrea Brown as she grieves the loss of her 19-year-old daughter.
She was my everything. We did everything. She was like my little best friend. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
19-year-old Anaya Womack was found on a sidewalk near the intersection of Monument and Trednick, and then dropped off by two people at Memorial Hospital after being shot. She died hours later. Her mother said the two were nearly inseparable.
She was just such a bubbly person. She'll do anything for you. We had the best relationship. She was my twin.
Police don't know if the two people who dropped her off are Good Samaritans or suspects in the case. Womack's cousin, Autumn Redding, said nobody gave the hospital information, so she was dropped off as a Jane Doe, and questions about what happened linger.
We're trying to figure out who she was with, who her so-called friends were, who the people she trusted, that know more information so we can go ahead and get justice.
Anaya's family says she was spending the night with some friends. Her grandmother, Gail Taylor, said she heard from her just yesterday.
Called her yesterday and I said, when are you coming home? She said, I'll be home tomorrow, Nana.
Family says she was ready to move into a new apartment and start a new job. For her mother, she wants one thing.
Speak up, please. My baby didn't deserve this.
This is for Anaya Womack.
A Jacksonville family continues to mourn the loss of 19-year-old Anaya Womack. Womack was a victim of a shooting that happened in late May on Kendalltown Boulevard. After months of no answers about who did the shooting, the family received some type of closure. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has now arrested, charged, and accused 20-year-old Mariah Clayton with manslaughter in this case. Womack's cousin, Autumn Redding, says this has been a long 5 months for her family.
We've had ups and downs. It has been extremely crazy. We lost a lot of hope.
The family tells me they don't know the relationship between Womack and Clayton. Anaya's mother, Andrea Brown, described her as a young lady who was funny and enjoyed making TikToks.
I miss her laughs, her smiles, her goofiness. That she was like my twin.
According to AJ Jordan from the Mad Dash chapter of Jacksonville, they received a tip from someone a day after the shooting happened. They later turned that information over to JSO. He's glad the family now has justice.
Now we have somebody that's held accountable, somebody they can look in the face and give an impact statement to.
The woman accused of manslaughter in the shooting that took the life of 19-year-old Anaya Womack was filming a TikTok when the crime happened, according to police reports. Mariah Clayton, 20, is accused of shooting Womack with a rifle. Womack was shot once in the stomach and passed away at Memorial Hospital on University Boulevard in Jacksonville on May 24th. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office said Womack was shot because Clayton was handling a rifle in a negligent way while attempting to film a TikTok video. The report says she was repeatedly warned by friends that she should not be playing with the rifle. The report said the weapon discharged because she was being careless, not because she intended to harm Womack. Several people were at the apartment in the Regency area of Jacksonville when the shooting happened. While the report shows Clayton told police she was not holding a rifle, witnesses told a different account as to what happened that night. One witness told police that before the shooting, she saw Clayton holding an all-black rifle and advised her she should not be playing with the rifle. Clayton did not put the rifle down. Instead, the witness said she continued to act out a scene where she popped out of the shower with the rifle. The report says Womack was the one filming the videos. How the rifle discharged was disputed by different witnesses. One said one of the people in the apartment was attempting to check the safety while Clayton held the rifle, and it discharged. At that point, the witnesses said the other person never actually touched the weapon. Another witness said Clayton began putting the rifle down, and it discharged as she put it down. Clayton told police that one of the witnesses put his arms around her and grabbed the gun, which the police has proven to be false. Clayton was arrested on manslaughter charges after police determined her negligence had caused the death of Womack.
Dear Honorable Judge Kite, I write this letter today to express my thoughts and emotions regarding this situation. I'm willing to be held accountable for my actions and behaviors. I realize how many lives I affected, not only my victim family, but also my family and friends have been affected as well. I have done something horrible that has caused permanent consequences. I wake up every morning wishing I did everything different, not just for myself, but for Anaya and her loved ones. I pray every day that her and her family can heal and find peace. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me, as this was truly an accident. The night I rushed her to the Memorial Hospital, I told Anaya that she would make it. She has her mom and her sister to look after. I prayed all night while waiting in front of the hospital that the angels touch her and that she make a full recovery and that Anaya stands strong. I wish I could take everything back. I regret not thinking it through. I should have known better. I am sorry. I realize I have hurt a lot of people due to my careless act. I am remorseful for the whole situation, although I cannot take anything back or bring Anaya back. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me, as this was truly an accident.
Hello, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Karen Classified. I hope you guys comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. I also hope you leave your comments down within the section below so we can get the conversation going. Here we have a story in regards to a young lady by the name of Anaya Womack. And Anaya was hanging out with friends when she unfortunately lost her life due to the negligence of another friend playing with the gun. And playing around with the loaded weapon is just a setup for disaster. Mariah discharged the gun and it went through the stomach of Anaya and some vital organs. However, other friends continued to tell her to stop playing with the gun and to put the gun down. Well, I inserted her in court asking the courts for mercy, and in addition to asking the courts for mercy, the judge asked her a plethora of questions. So when she's questioning her, she is admitting to, even after the fact of this young lady losing her life, continuing to post with guns. So, in my opinion, you're verbalizing remorse, and I'm sure that she didn't want the young lady to lose her life. However, your actions after the fact shows that you still continuously move recklessly. The judge gave her 5 years in jail, or in prison, and also 5 years after the fact on probation. I don't know, you guys. What do you think? Do you think that 5 years is enough time to sit and think about what harm you have brought upon someone and hurt that you brought towards their family? Do you believe that that is enough time? In addition to that, she dropped this young lady off near the hospital. They didn't give a name. They didn't give information. Other people had to find this young lady to render care. I don't know about you all, but that, to me, that's not a friend. Because if you were my friend, no matter how much trouble you would think you was going to get yourself into, you would go out of your way and do everything you can to try to save my life. This is a lot of moving parts. These were a lot of different stories being told. Obviously, they didn't get together to try to be on one accord as to what to say. And she continued to lie throughout to try to save herself. Trying to minimize her part in the role that she played in this young lady losing her life. I'm going to be honest with you though. I wouldn't care if you was trying to shoot a TikTok or any kind of talk. I'm not filming you with no GUN in your hand. I just can't put myself in that position. But we're talking about teenagers, young kids that's just thinking that, oh, it's not going to happen to me until it happens. I'm going to insert the rest of the court testimony in our information, because the judge asked her a lot of good questions. And the judge asked her why was she continuously posting after the fact, and let her know why she gave her the 5-year sentence and the 5 years of probation. She stated that the funeral cost over $17,000 and that the 5 years on probation would be directed towards paying restitution towards the family. Given that, I'm also going to say this. I understand that she was the cause of this young lady losing her life. However, she, meaning Anaya, is a victim. And a lot of people don't know, but in each county, each area, they have what is called victim services. And victim services pays for your funeral costs. They will contribute a significant amount as long as you are not a convicted felon. So as long as you're not a convicted felon, and if you're a victim of a crime, they do have resources. So you have to go within your local offices. They definitely will help you. So I just wanted to insert that for anyone that is dealing with any kind of financial strain due to being a victim of a crime. Again, you guys, I would like to get your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your thoughts in regards to this entire situation? Do you think Anaya received a slap on the wrist? Do you think 5 years being incarcerated and 5 years of probation is not enough? What are your thoughts on this entire situation? I thank you guys for listening in to Karen Classified. I apologize. I've been under the weather. My voice again, I apologize for that. But I thank you guys for tuning in to Karen Classified. Until the next video, you guys, I hope everyone stays safe and take care.
Okay. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Why'd you post the pictures after?
It was I reposted what my other friend posted, Kevin Owens, the TikTok that we've been made with different videos inside the TikTok on my story.
Was it with guns?
Yeah, regarding to other people that was in the video.
Do you think that was smart?
No, ma'am.
Do you see how it hurt her family knowing what happened to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Has it sunk into your head at all?
Yes, I think about my consequences every day.
I'm assuming that's from the time period that the bullet pierced her body, went through her organs, ended her life, and then you are still on social media posting those things?
No, ma'am.
I'm talking about from May to October.
Yes, ma'am.
You were still on social media posting those things.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to be very, very frank with you. It is extremely, extremely hard for me to swallow this. Okay. I'm looking out a gallery full of people with tears in their eyes for someone that didn't deserve to die that day. Okay. And they've had grace with you, they've had mercy on you. And partly, grace is one of those things that's given without being deserved. That is the definition of grace. The mother asked for some truth. Okay. So when you lay your head down at night, okay, and you think about what you've done, you will bear the burden of this, what you've done. Okay. Social media is eroding our community. Being portrayed or portraying yourself like you are cool because you have a gun, because you have drugs, you can see what dire consequences it has.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to go forward with this sentence, and I'm going to be very, very clear with you. What Anaya's mom wants, this is your one and final second chance. Do you hear me?
Yes,
You're going to be on probation. There aren't any guns on probation. There aren't any drugs on probation. There's not hanging out with anybody that has guns or drugs. And the reason why is because things like this happen. Okay. It needs to be your first priority. Okay. To make good. You're never going to bring Anaya back. Okay. But what you can do, your actions after you serve this 5-year sentence could be that you make it a priority, that the money that they never were supposed to spend, okay, on a funeral, you make it up to them. That will be in her honor.
Yes, ma'am.
The other thing is that I want you to go into this probationary period after you get out of prison, all right, with the right mindset. It is an opportunity, okay? It's not a hindrance. It's going to be the type of structure that maybe you're not used to. You're going to have to check in every month. You're going to have to tell them what you're doing. You're going to have to it's not going to be easy. Probation is not a cakewalk, okay? It is an opportunity for you to not be incarcerated, but still somehow rehabilitate yourself and make amends to this family. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I'm willing to do it. Okay, because honestly, if I sentenced you to 15 years, 30 years, it would never replace that beautiful young lady that you just saw pictures of. Ever. And you can say that it's an accident all you want. But the truth of this whole thing is that if you weren't hanging out, messing around with guns, this would have never happened. So there wouldn't have been any accidents. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything further?
Nothing for the defense.
This court having accepted your plea, actually, before I do that, let me say something to Anaya's family. Thank you for being here. Your level of strength and grace is unparalleled. It really happens very rarely in situations like this. And this is a true tragedy. She did not deserve that whatsoever. My understanding from the family is that you don't necessarily agree with this. Is that right? But you understand it? Let me put it to you very frankly. Miss Clayton is young and obviously extremely immature. This is not just 5 years. It's 10 years. It's 5 years in, it's 5 years out. If she violates in the 5 years, she subjects herself to the maximum. Okay. So you all, by extending some grace to her, maybe if with her commitment to not doing this ever again, to getting herself together, to maturing, you can go one of two ways. You can go up the road and associate yourself with the worst woman you've ever met in your entire life. Or you can go up the road and you can take advantage of opportunities within the prison system to educate yourself, to get yourself a trade. So when you get out, that you can be somewhat successful. That's going to be up to you. If you hit the streets, okay, and you do the same things that you were doing when this case happened, you're going to end up right back in prison. And on a charge like this, there are very few courts that would give you another chance at coming out. So the choice is yours. So while it's not upfront, the choice is hers. And so she can say and read that she's sorry, or she can show you that she's really sorry. This court, having accepted your plea, will now adjudicate you guilty. I'll sentence you to 5 years in the Florida State Prison, giving you credit for the 154 days that you've already served. I'll follow that incarceration with 5 years of probation to complete all general conditions of probation, starting with the fact that you must pay $40 per month, as well as a 4% surcharge towards the cost of your supervision. You will remain in a specified place, and you will not change your residence or employment or leave the county of your residence without first procuring consent of your officer. You will not possess, carry, or own any firearm. You will not possess, carry, or own any weapon without first procuring consent of your officer. You will, will be a convicted felon, so you won't even be allowed to have a weapon. You will live without violating any law. You will not associate with any person engaged in criminal activity. You will not use intoxicants to excess, possess any drugs, narcotics, unless prescribed by a physician. You will not work diligently at a lawful occupation, and I'm going to announce a special condition as well. Nor will you visit any places where intoxicants, drugs, or dangerous weapons, substances are unlawfully sold, dispensed, or used. You will promptly and truthfully answer all inquiries directed to you by the court or the officer, or allow your officer to visit your home, your employment site, or elsewhere. And you will comply with all instructions by your officer that will give you those instructions. You will pay restitution, court costs, and or fees. You will submit to random testing. You will bear the costs of the random testing. You will submit to a DNA sample. You will also submit to a digitized photograph by the department. And you must report to probation within 72 hours. Those are the general conditions, as well as the special conditions that you are to pay $17,000 in restitution for the funeral cost of Anaya Womack at a rate of at least $250 per month. You shall submit yourself to random urine screens. That means that you are to use no illegal drugs. You shall maintain employment or submit at least 3 job applications per week to get employment. You're to pay $518 in court costs. You're to pay a $100 court-appointed attorney fee and a $50 application fee. If you feel like the sentence that I've imposed is illegal, or if there's an error, you have 30 days from today to appeal the court sentence. If you cannot afford an attorney, I'll appoint one to represent you. Thank you.